The 1960s, a period of muscle car evolution. During this period, Americans embraced vehicles beyond basic transportation because driving such cars left tire smoke and envy in their trails. The 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt arrived equipped with drag strip domination in mind because designers built this car to conquer race courses like a crazy bull demolishing decorations. The V8 engine inside this car produced sounds stronger than heavy metal music at a concert, so the vehicle wasn't about standard racing, but it roared. Your initial reaction might be skepticism toward the Ford Fairlane. Isn't that a sedan? What's so special about that? The 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt offered more than a relaxed weekend drive like traditional vehicles. The Thunderbolt stood apart from the Fairlane because Ford equipped it with a 427 cubic inch motor while applying strict weight loss techniques that would impress any expert bodybuilder. Ford deployed this mystery racing sedan during speed and muscle competitions, showing the undeniable American spirit. So, let's dive into the glorious world of the 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll understand why this muscle car still makes people weaken the knees, even when it's parked in a garage gathering dust. Now before I begin, please leave a like and a comment, and also share this video. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Now, let me take you back in time to the early 1960s, when Ford manufactured vehicles for daily commuting. But this was not enough, as they also wanted to dominate drag racing championships. Chevrolet and Chrysler achieved significant track success, which prompted Ford to develop something more than just a basic trim package. The competition required a monster car with enough power to strike fear into the hearts of competitors. The affair between Ford's designers and drag racing tracks created this monster car, the 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt. The 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt wasn't built entirely separately from the Ford production lines. Ford sent standard Fairlane shells to Dearborn Steel Tubing, DST, an independent contractor, for modifications. The development process leading to the Thunderbolt's production took more than 1 day to complete. The formation process involved nothing but ambition alongside merciless execution. Ford's team collaborated with top drag racing experts to develop a regular Fairlane model into an official drag track champion. They stripped this car down to its bare essentials, including everything from the body to the rear seats. Your family will need to find another ride because this vehicle does not feature any seats in the rear. You're not cruising for ice cream here. You're about to break some speed limits. Ford's goal was simple: speed, speed, and more speed. They pursued both the most powerful engine and the most weight-saving materials in their design plan. The engineers installed every advanced feature available, including a 427 cubic inch V8 engine, a custom suspension system, fiberglass body panels, and aluminum components. The rest of the body was made of standard steel, because Ford wasn't looking for a beauty queen, they were after a speed demon. The Ford development team pursued a vehicle that can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour faster than you could say quarter mile. The engineers didn't just want a race car, they wanted a car that would leave the competition eating their dust, looking in the rearview mirror and wondering what went wrong. And let's not forget about the secret sauce. The Thunderbolt was born out of sheer, unrelenting rage at the idea of losing. Ford wasn't leading the pack, they were actually playing catch-up to Chrysler and Chevrolet, who had already dominated drag racing with the Dodge Ram Chargers and Chevrolet Z11 Impala. Ford wasn't about to let their competitors keep their crown, so with a little bit of engineering wizardry, a touch of madness, and a whole lot of horsepower, the Thunderbolt was born to tear up the strip. The 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt knows no limits in its performance capabilities. Every morning this car awakens without any other purpose than to demolish drag strip tracks. Ford engineers developed this extraordinary vehicle in a specific way to accomplish that purpose. First up, the engine. The vehicle's engine choice ran directly against your expectations because they didn't use the standard 4-cylinder setup. Oh no! Every Thunderbolt model featured a 427 cubic inch V8 heart that you could compare to installing a rocket engine on a shopping cart. This wasn't just any V8 though. The enormous aggressive engine beast delivered 425 horsepower and 480 pounds per foot of torque. The standard 100 horsepower sedan from that era could not compare to the Thunderbolt, which boasted 4 times more power. It was like comparing a lion to a kitten. Guess which one's winning the race? You might wonder, how did people handle such powerful machinery without crashing into trees? Enter the 4-speed manual transmission. Ford made it clear, drivers need to maintain their grip on the wheel and a foot on the pedal. Babysitting wasn't provided. Of the 100 Thunderbolts built, 49 had 4-speed manuals, and 51 had automatics. The manual transmission, paired with a rear axle ratio optimized for drag racing, allowed the Thunderbolt to rocket off the line, leaving average street racers struggling with their midlife crises in the dust. Now let me talk about the weight, or lack thereof. Ford was not aiming to build a vehicle that was merely fast. They wanted to create a speed demon. Every unnecessary component, including back seats, heater, and radio, was eliminated. Who needs a radio when the roar of the V8 engine is there to overshadow every surrounding sound? With aluminum and fiberglass components, the Thunderbolt wasn't just faster than sedans, it was in a completely different league. While the standard Fairlanes were cruising, the Thunderbolt was ripping through the drag strip with low 11-second quarter-mile times, leaving competitors choking on its exhaust. It wasn't just fast, it was a quarter-mile monster. And then there was the suspension. No, they didn't just slap a set of shock absorbers on it and call it a day. Ford modified the Thunderbolt suspension specifically for drag racing. It had a solid rear axle and a stiffened front suspension to transfer weight to the rear wheels, improving traction off the line and helping the car launch with explosive speed. However, this setup wasn't necessarily designed for high-speed stability. It was all about getting the best grip on the track as quickly as possible. The suspension system kept the car glued to the track in the drag racing context, but let's take it into a corner and things might get a little risky. Cornering? Let's just say it wasn't the Thunderbolt's strong suit, but in a straight line, pure gold. When it came to drag racing, the 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt wasn't just a competitor, it was a superstar. A proper catchphrase for the Thunderbolt, if it ever needed one, would undoubtedly be, "Catch me if you can." Because that's exactly what it made rivals do. The Thunderbolt was built for one thing, to dominate the drag strip, and that's exactly what it did. This drag racing powerhouse held the status of Michael Jordan, with noise levels substituting for basketball skills. Once the Thunderbolt arrived, it brought everything it needed for success. Ford fully committed to the Thunderbolt by offering it to top drag racers, which led to remarkable achievements in racing competitions. The beast roared across tracks all over America to establish records that made spectators lose track of the show, like paparazzi do to celebrities. The Thunderbolt proved flawless as a contender because of its power-to-weight ratio, which quickly smashed other competitors on the track. The Thunderbolt frequently secured victories at both York US 30 Dragway and Indianapolis Raceway Park. The Thunderbolt wasn't just about winning races, it was a statement to the world. It roared with speed while expressing its loud American character. A Sunday car drive provided no satisfaction because this vehicle instantly caused all your hair to rise when it started roaring. People recognized the Thunderbolt as a cultural icon through its powerful performance and its bold attitude, which unnerved others. Every enthusiast in the muscle car world became aware due to its performance-revealing look. On the flip side, the Thunderbolt didn't just race, it was influential in the ongoing horsepower war between the big three, Ford, GM, and Chrysler, all of whom were already building factory drag racers. While it didn't single-handedly rewrite the rules, the Thunderbolt helped cement Ford's presence in motorsports and contributed to the muscle car movement, fueling the competition that led to even faster, more powerful machines. The ownership of a 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt makes you a proud owner of drag racing heritage. Before embarking on a couch cushion hunt for small change to purchase one, you should know that only 100 units were purchased. Yes, you heard that right, 100 units. It has reached the levels of utter rarity, which surpass a simple rare designation and enters the realm of unicorn rare. The Thunderbolt enjoys such extremely restricted production numbers that it feels like discovering the only remaining slice of pizza during a party. These Thunderbolts weren't just a limited edition for collectors to show off at car shows. They were racing machines built to help Ford secure the 1964 NHRA Superstock Championship, which they did, by the way. So, while other cars were just trying to be pretty, the Thunderbolt was busy making history and blowing past everyone in the way. Now let's talk about what it costs today to own one of these legendary machines. If you're hoping to pick one up for a reasonable price, hold on to your wallet. A well-preserved Thunderbolt will set you back anywhere from $200,000 to $300,000, and that's for a car that's almost 60 years old. It's like paying for a classic sports car that still manages to outrun most modern cars on the street. Not bad for a car that was originally sold for about $3,800 back in 1964, right? The price difference is enough to make you want to faint, but hey, it's an investment. Today, Thunderbolt stands among the most valuable muscle cars in the market due to its limited availability and status as a racing vehicle. Auction and special sale visitors know the Thunderbolt will create intense bidding competition among participants who seek racing mementos. When it comes to the Thunderbolt, do not attempt to negotiate its price because it stands as a Thunderbolt, while your purchase costs hundreds of thousands of dollars for membership in the exclusive club that counts just 100 members. Those who own a Thunderbolt fulfill the role of museum curator while preserving the history of automotive excellence. But really, it's not just about the price or the rarity. The Thunderbolt represents the golden age of American muscle cars, the kind of cars that made your heart race even before you hit the gas pedal. So whether you're dreaming of owning one, drooling over its history, or just appreciating it from a distance, let's face it, the 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt will always be the kind of car that leaves everyone else looking at its taillights, wondering, why didn't I think of that? Thanks for joining us, and don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. Also, please subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this one. And until next time, stay safe out there.